Every now and then, a car meant for the daily commute ends up reshaping how people drive, tune, and dream. It starts as a simple machine, an honest expression of engineering restraint, but somehow becomes a symbol that outgrows its spec sheet. Lightweight, balanced, pure. These are words that sound ordinary until a handful of enthusiasts turn them into a creed. The story you are about to hear is not about luxury or excess. It is about precision, passion, and the pursuit of perfect control. It is about a modest coupe that transformed from a weekend favorite into a cultural phenomenon. It is a story of how performance found its soul in simplicity. Like and subscribe if you love automotive legends built from humble beginnings. And tell us in the comments which car you want to see next. In 1985, Toyota introduced the AE86 Trueno, a lightweight rear-wheel drive coupe that would eventually redefine what it meant to truly connect with a car. At first glance, the AE86 Trueno did not look like a future icon. It was part of the fifth-generation Corolla family, meant to deliver reliability and fuel efficiency for the everyday driver. Yet hidden within its unassuming shell was a rare blend of balance and simplicity. Toyota engineers had given it a high-revving 1.6-liter twin-cam engine and a chassis light enough to let that modest power shine. The AE86 Trueno became a car that rewarded precision more than brute strength. A car that spoke directly to the driver through its steering wheel and gearbox. In an era when the automotive world was transitioning toward front-wheel drive and computerized control, Toyota's decision to keep the Trueno rear-driven felt almost rebellious. It offered a kind of driving purity that was already becoming rare. A tactile feel that transformed even a short drive into a conversation between human and machine. The key to the AE86 Trueno's appeal was not just performance figures but the way it delivered them. Its 4AGE engine, producing around 128 horsepower, was a marvel of accessible engineering. Revving to the limit felt natural. Each shift was crisp and satisfying. The car's 50/50 weight distribution and lightweight frame made it agile in corners, eager to pivot around its rear axle. This made it a dream for those who cared about handling dynamics rather than straight-line acceleration. The Trueno's double wishbone suspension and limited slip differential provided exceptional grip and feedback. It felt alive even at modest speeds. For many young enthusiasts, this was their first taste of what it meant to truly control a car at its limits. Toyota did not set out to build a racing legend. The AE86 Trueno was intended to be practical, affordable, and versatile. But as soon as it hit the market, privateer racers in Japan began to see its potential. They found that it could compete far above its price class on the track, especially in touring car and rally events. Its simple design made it easy to modify. Suspension upgrades, engine tuning, and lightweight body panels were all accessible to those who wanted more performance. In the hands of skilled drivers, the AE86 Trueno could challenge cars that cost twice as much. Its reputation grew quickly, first among grassroots racers and then across Japan's expanding tuning culture. The roads of Gunma Prefecture and the mountain passes known as Tuge became proving grounds for the AE86 Trueno. These winding routes demanded precision, bravery, and mechanical sympathy. Drivers found that the Trueno's balance allowed them to glide through corners using throttle and steering in perfect harmony. This was where the art of drifting began to take shape. The ability to intentionally control oversteer while maintaining speed and style became a mark of mastery. The AE86 Trueno became the ideal tool for this skill. Its light frame and predictable behavior made it easy to catch and correct mid-slide. While some manufacturers pursued ever higher horsepower, Toyota's coupe showed that finesse could be more thrilling than force. The AE86 Trueno turned driving into a dialogue. It asked for input, rewarded precision, and punished carelessness. Its influence began spreading beyond Japan as car magazines and imported videos showcased this new style of driving. Enthusiasts across the world started to notice that performance was not about domination. It was about rhythm, balance, and understanding. The car's design helped cement its identity. The AE86 Trueno was offered with pop-up headlights, giving it a distinctive face that enthusiasts adored. The two-tone paint schemes, especially the white and black combination, became instantly recognizable. These visual cues helped the car stand out among other compact coupes of the time. Even though it shared parts with ordinary Corollas, its spirit was entirely different. The Trueno had a sense of purpose. an attitude that whispered of backroads and racetracks rather than parking lots. Toyota's engineers achieved something remarkable by blending practicality with performance. They created a machine that could handle daily life yet thrive under extreme conditions. The AE86 Trueno was economical enough for commuting but sharp enough for competition. That dual identity made it appealing to a wide audience. High school students in Japan could afford it secondhand, while seasoned racers could appreciate its potential. It democratized performance, proving that great driving experiences did not require deep pockets. As the years went by, stories about legendary AE86 Trueno runs through mountain passes began to circulate. Drivers who mastered the car earned respect not just for their speed but for their smoothness and control. The AE86 became a symbol of skill rather than wealth. In many ways, it embodied the purest form of automotive enthusiasm, the pursuit of mastery through simplicity. Its charm was mechanical honesty. Nothing was hidden behind electronics or driving aids. It was a car that taught drivers about weight transfer, tire grip, and throttle modulation. For many, it became a classroom on wheels. The AE86 Trueno's reputation reached new heights through media. Automotive publications praised its balance, tuners showcased its potential, and soon it became an aspirational model for a generation. Its influence extended beyond Japan's borders, finding fans in Europe and North America who admired its character and driving purity. Toyota had unwittingly created a car that would transcend its market niche to become a cultural symbol. In 1985, when it first appeared in showrooms, few could have predicted this outcome. Yet the AE86 Trueno embodied a philosophy that appealed to enthusiasts worldwide. It was not about being the fastest. It was about being the most connected. Even today, when technology dominates performance cars, that ideal continues to resonate. The Trueno's origin story is a reminder that greatness often begins with simplicity. The next part of this journey would reveal how this modest coupe inspired an entire motorsport and became a cornerstone of global car culture. The Toyota AE86 Trueno did not just excel on mountain roads. It laid the foundation for a global movement. By the late 1980s, drifting was more than a technique. It was a statement of style, creativity, and control. Drivers discovered that the AE86 Trueno offered the perfect balance for these expressive maneuvers. The car's rear-wheel drive layout allowed slides that could be held with precision, and its lightweight meant the driver could transition smoothly from corner to corner without losing momentum. The AE86 Trueno became synonymous with the idea that driving could be an art form. It was no longer about simply getting from one place to another. It was about how you did it, how fluidly you could link corners, and how your machine responded to your rhythm. Keiichi Tsuchiya, a racer who became known as the Drift King, played a crucial role in this transformation. His skill behind the wheel of the AE86 Trueno showcased what was possible when car and driver worked as one. Footage of him drifting through mountain passes spread quickly through Japan's underground car scene, capturing the imagination of countless young enthusiasts. Soon, organized drifting events emerged, and the AE86 Trueno stood at the center of this new sport. While other cars entered the scene over time, none carried the same purity of purpose or emotional connection as Toyota's humble coupe. It was the template, the original brushstroke of a movement that would later become an international motorsport. Drifting was not just about performance. It was about expression. The AE86 Trueno became a platform for individuality. Owners customized everything from suspension setups to paint schemes, creating unique interpretations of what the car represented. Some focused on lightweight performance builds. Others emphasized aesthetic details that reflected personal identity. This freedom of expression mirrored the essence of drift culture itself. Skill and creativity over raw speed. The AE86 Trueno embodied this philosophy perfectly. Its simple mechanical layout made it accessible for modifications, while its timeless design encouraged personalization. At the same time, motorsport recognition began to grow. Local competitions evolved into national championships. What started as late-night runs through mountain passes transitioned into organized events with safety measures and sponsorships. The AE86 Trueno remained a favorite among professional drivers because of its predictable handling and forgiving nature. It allowed drivers to push the limits without being punished by sudden loss of control. Many newcomers to drifting learned the fundamentals behind its wheel. finding that it was both challenging and rewarding. The car's forgiving character made it an ideal teacher, while its precision made it competitive even against more powerful rivals. The cultural explosion that surrounded the AE86 Trueno found its ultimate boost in the late 1990s with the debut of the anime series Initial D. The show centered around a young driver mastering mountain roads in his family's AE86 Trueno. It captured the spirit of real-world drift culture and introduced it to audiences across the globe. For many viewers, this was their first glimpse of Japan's car scene, and the AE86 became the symbol of humble mastery. Its animated counterpart did not rely on sheer horsepower. Instead, it relied on knowledge, timing, and control. The story resonated deeply because it reflected the car's real-life philosophy: skill over status. As the show gained popularity, the AE86 Trueno became more than a car. It became an icon of determination. Sales of used models surged, and enthusiasts around the world began searching for their own AE86 to modify, drive, or simply cherish. Even those who could not find one found ways to emulate its spirit through similar lightweight rear-wheel drive cars. The Trueno had sparked something larger than itself, a mindset that valued connection, mechanical simplicity, and driver engagement above all. Drift competitions spread from Japan to Europe and North America. As professional organizations formed, the cars evolved. Turbocharged engines, wide tires, and aerodynamic kits became the norm. Yet, even as the sport modernized, the AE86 Trueno maintained a revered status. It was the benchmark, the car that represented the foundation of drifting's identity. Whenever a driver entered an event with an AE86, it drew respect. People recognized that this was where it all began, that this unassuming coupe carried the weight of history on its compact frame. Meanwhile, Toyota began to notice the cultural phenomenon surrounding its 1985 creation. The AE86 Trueno's growing global fanbase highlighted a hunger for analog driving experiences. Engineers who had grown up admiring the car wanted to bring its spirit into the modern age. Decades later, this inspiration would shape the design philosophy behind Toyota's modern sports coupes. But even during the 1990s and early 2000s, the AE86 remained a symbol of what driving could and should feel like. It represented purity in motion, a mechanical honesty that newer cars often lacked. The influence of the AE86 Trueno extended into gaming culture as well. Racing simulators and arcade titles introduced a new generation to the car's legacy. Virtual versions of the AE86 became as recognizable as real ones. Players who drifted through digital mountain roads experienced the same sense of precision and challenge that defined the real car. This virtual exposure ensured that even those who never sat behind its wheel understood why it was so celebrated. The AE86 Trueno became a bridge between generations of car enthusiasts, uniting those who grew up driving it with those who discovered it through pixels and screens. In the real world, time was not kind to the AE86 Trueno's production numbers. Built between 1983 and 1987, it was never a high-volume model. As years passed, many were lost to rust, accidents, or heavy modification. The remaining examples became increasingly valuable, and the hunt for well-preserved units intensified. Collectors and restorers began bringing old Truenos back to life, preserving their legacy for future generations. Each restored example became a tribute to an era when cars were built to communicate directly with their drivers. What made the AE86 Trueno so enduring was its universality. It appealed to both purists and dreamers, professionals and hobbyists. It was a machine that taught lessons about momentum, patience, and feedback, principles that applied beyond motorsport. Those who drove it often spoke of the connection it created, a rare sense of partnership between human and machine. That connection defined the car's character and ensured its immortality in automotive culture. As drift culture solidified its place globally, the AE86 Trueno remained its spiritual heart. Even as powerful machines with advanced setups dominated competitions, the sight of a simple AE86 holding its own became a reminder of what started it all. It represented the human element, the idea that skill and passion could outweigh technology. Every time a driver guided one through a perfect slide, they were not just performing a maneuver. They were paying homage to decades of history born from a small, lightweight coupe that defied expectations. The story of the Toyota AE86 Trueno is not just about innovation. It is about evolution. As the years moved into the 2000s and beyond, the Toyota AE86 Trueno became a living memory of a philosophy many thought lost to modern progress. In a world that increasingly valued digital precision and automated efficiency, this analog masterpiece stood as a reminder of why people fell in love with driving in the first place. The AE86 Trueno's influence extended well past drifting. It shaped how manufacturers, tuners, and enthusiasts approached performance design. Its mechanical purity and driver-first focus became benchmarks for what enthusiasts sought in a car. Whether through its influence on motorsport or its philosophical echo in newer models, the AE86 Trueno continued to guide the conversation about what makes a car truly great. Toyota's own engineers never forgot the lessons of the AE86 Trueno. When the company began developing the modern GR86, they returned to the same formula that made the original so beloved: low weight, rear-wheel drive, and perfect balance. The AE86 was the blueprint, the spiritual ancestor of a new era of sports cars that aimed to rekindle driving engagement. The goal was never to build the most powerful machine, but the most communicative one. The echoes of 1985 resonated in every design choice. Every steering adjustment, gear ratio, and suspension calibration carried traces of the Trueno's DNA. This legacy was not just technical. It was emotional. The AE86 Trueno represented a kind of purity that technology could not replicate. In a car without complex systems or automated aids, every action had consequences. Every corner demanded attention. Every acceleration carried a dialogue between human reflex and mechanical response. It was this sense of accountability that made driving meaningful. Modern enthusiasts who experienced the AE86 for the first time often found themselves surprised by how alive it felt. There was no filter between the driver and the machine. That clarity became a defining feature of the Trueno's legend. In car meets, races, and drift events around the world, the AE86 Trueno became a kind of sacred relic. Owning one meant more than possessing a collectible. It meant becoming part of a lineage that valued craftsmanship and driver skill. Many AE86 owners viewed themselves as caretakers of a legacy rather than mere collectors. They kept the cars running, restoring engines, replacing panels, and documenting every detail of the build. Communities formed around preserving authenticity while celebrating individuality. Every car carried its own story: who drove it, where it slid through corners, and how it was rebuilt. The AE86 Trueno was never just a machine. It was a vessel of memories. Its influence even reached beyond automotive circles. Designers, musicians, and artists drew inspiration from the AE86 Trueno's minimalist aesthetic and cultural symbolism. It represented independence and creativity, proof that greatness could come from simplicity. The black and white livery became iconic, recognized even by those who had never heard of drifting or Japanese car culture. It symbolized balance, the harmony between motion and stillness, between control and chaos. In that way, the AE86 became both a mechanical marvel and a metaphor for craftsmanship itself. As automotive technology advanced, the AE86 Trueno stood as a counterpoint to excess. While new cars gained horsepower and digital interfaces, the Trueno reminded drivers of the beauty in restraint. It was light because it had to be, simple because it should be, engaging because it could be. This balance gave it an enduring relevance even decades later. When drivers discussed the essence of sports cars, the AE86 inevitably entered the conversation. It was the benchmark for purity, a machine that didn't chase numbers but pursued connection. Collectors began documenting every surviving example, cataloging chassis numbers and configurations. The AE86 Trueno's variations, from Levin to Trueno, from hatchback to notchback, became topics of deep study. Specialists restored interiors, rebuilt engines, and sourced original parts. These efforts reflected not nostalgia but reverence for craftsmanship. The car's resurgence created a bridge between generations. Older enthusiasts who once raced them and younger fans who discovered them through media and digital culture. The AE86 Trueno's legacy became timeless precisely because it lived in both past and present. When Toyota revived the spirit of the AE86 through modern successors, it did more than create a new car. It honored a philosophy. The engineers behind the GR86 often reference the AE86 Trueno as their guiding light. Lightweight construction, naturally aspirated response, and driver-focused ergonomics were deliberate choices meant to echo that 1980s purity. This connection ensured that the Trueno's legacy would continue not as a relic, but as an active influence shaping the future. It proved that automotive evolution could honor tradition without copying it. Perhaps the most profound impact of the AE86 Trueno lies in how it shaped attitudes toward driving itself. It taught generations that true performance is not measured in acceleration times, but in feedback and finesse. It showed that joy comes from mastery rather than power. For enthusiasts who discovered driving through the AE86, this understanding became a lifelong principle. They carried its lessons into every car they owned, every race they entered, every road they explored. The AE86 Trueno made people better drivers, not because it was forgiving, but because it demanded respect and rewarded skill. Even in today's landscape of electric performance and automated driving, the AE86 Trueno maintains its allure. Some owners have even converted their cars to electric power while preserving the balance and feel that defined the original. This merging of past and future reflects the adaptability of the AE86's design. It was never about the engine alone. It was about the harmony of components working together under human control. That harmony remains the benchmark against which driving pleasure is still measured. The AE86 Trueno story is not just one of nostalgia. It is one of influence, adaptation, and continuity. It reminds us that technology may change, but passion endures. The small coupe that began as a practical Corolla variant became a symbol of connection between driver and road, between generations of enthusiasts, and between cultures that found common ground in the thrill of precision. Its enduring appeal lies in how it makes people feel. Focused, alive, and in control. That feeling, more than any statistic, is why the AE86 Trueno remains an irreplaceable part of automotive history. The Toyota AE86 Trueno remains one of the rare machines that achieved immortality not through power or luxury, but through authenticity. It stood at the crossroads of practicality and passion, proving that true greatness often hides in modest origins. For a car built in 1985, its legacy is extraordinary. It defined how an entire generation understood the art of driving. It taught that mastery comes from connection, that balance is more important than brute force, and that simplicity can be the highest form of sophistication. Every curve of the AE86 Trueno tells a story about intent. Its engineers never imagined they were building a cultural icon. They simply wanted to make a car that handled beautifully. Yet that pursuit of balance and purity resonated deeply with people. It became more than a vehicle. It became a mirror for the values of those who drove it: dedication, patience, and respect for mechanical craft. Even as technology has transformed the automotive world, those values have never lost their meaning. For enthusiasts, the AE86 Trueno represents a promise that the relationship between driver and machine can still be deeply personal. When someone sits behind its wheel, they feel more than nostalgia. They feel presence. Every input matters. Every mistake teaches. Every perfect corner feels earned. That sense of reward, the intimate feedback that defines great driving, is the Trueno's greatest gift to the world. Its influence continues to shape modern sports cars, simulators, and driving philosophy itself. The lessons of the AE86 Trueno echo in every lightweight chassis, every balanced suspension setup, and every driver who values connection over control systems. It inspired an art form, sparked a movement, and reminded us that emotion still has a place in engineering. In a sense, the car never stopped moving. It simply shifted lanes, from the physical world to the realm of legacy. And that is what makes the Toyota AE86 Trueno timeless. It was never about chasing records. It was about creating memories. Its story proves that innovation does not always come from complexity. It comes from clarity. The AE86 Trueno will always stand as a tribute to the idea that driving, at its best, is not about domination but dialogue. It is a legend born from balance, kept alive by passion, and remembered every time a driver finds joy in the simple act of turning a wheel.